Who's Rana?
So we'd like to welcome everybody to the Phrancko weekly Zoom meeting for people interested in learning how to knit a Phrancko top-down sweater from the Phrancko.com website, and that's Phrancko. But if you got here, you probably know how to spell it. So we've been meeting about 3.5, 4 years now over Zoom. It's a weekly meeting on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. That's Pacific time. Eastern time, it's 5:30 p.m. But interestingly enough, we have people who come from all around the world. I love that. And what a great bunch of people. So, hi, Ron.
Hello.
Hi, and hi, Nancy.
Hello.
And Cindy, hi.
Hi, Sumner.
And hi, Rana. I heard you earlier.
Hi, Sumner.
Cindy, I sprained my wrist.
Oh
and
no!
I haven't been knitting for like 2 weeks. It's
Oh,
been
that would drive
killing
me
me.
crazy.
I got it like
4 sweaters worth for Sumner.
It probably is. So that's the reason why I was able to catch up a little bit, Sumner. I was doing the knit along with Kathy's group.
Okay.
And here's the tee that I did, and so I've got
nice.
the front and the back and everything. I've got to sew the shoulders and then do the neckline. But I finally finished stuff yesterday, and I'm like, I like the colors. I think it's going to be cute.
Nice.
Yeah, that is very cute.
It's not for me, but I like it.
Oh, it works with your glasses, though.
Everything works with the glasses.
Oh, okay.
I just got really good colored glasses.
Yeah.
Thank you. But that's fun. But what I'm doing today is I'm winding off a little tiny ball of it's your and I favorite yarn, Sumner, the Andiamo Light by Jody Long. And so I'm winding off a little spool from the really big spool so I can start both shoulders. I'm gonna do that. The one with the 3 colors to do the butterfly from Frank's pattern from Cast On.
Oh, that's fun.
Are you making that for one of your children?
I am. For Katie, the one that had the workhorse sweater that has lasted wonderfully for so many years, and so she now she wants some more dress up ones. So that's going to be with the butterflies.
Yes, I remember your colors. They had sort of
I can grab them.
green and the.
Let me show you. I'll just grab them real quick. Raisin was one.
Yes. It's going to be beautiful.
Here they are.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Yes, I think it's going to be really pretty. And the raisin color is going to be the more outside of the outline of the butterfly, and then the other two are like inside the wings. So I think that'll be really cool.
Yes.
But it's been a while since I've cast on a straight Phrancko, and this is like, oh, I've got to get going. So I got out my printed Phrancko instructions, and it's just using larger needles and standard long tail cast on for the right back shoulder. I think that would be this one, and be sure that you mark right so that you know which one is which as you're going to be turning it around. So that's what I'm getting ready now.
So are you putting the chart onto a Phrancko you generated? This was one of his patterns from Cast On, was it not?
Yes, it was from Cast On,
custom.
and it was a man sweater that came in, I think maybe 4 sizes, or the intarsia portion was 4 different, a few different widths, but not that many. And so what I did is I did a custom Phrancko pattern using the Andiamo Light that I love. This is oatmeal. And my gauge that I did a really big swatch, and size 8 needles, that's what I ended up using, and her measurements. And then it came out, and then I looked at what size it needed to be. And Frank said, given her diminutive size, she should use the smaller one. And then, so just when I get to that portion on the sweater, I will just input the chart from the other sweater,
Yeah.
but I get to use my own gauge and my own yarn.
This
And
happens to be Franco's design of that intarsia pattern as well, but I think it's a
Mhm.
good point that you can cannibalize things from other
Mhm.
patterns and
Mhm.
make the adjustments to put them in. So if you want something with an intarsia design on it of some kind, you don't have to come up with that whole cloth. You can take things from sources, you can take things from pattern books that you have and put them into custom patterns for yourself, and take something from a commercial pattern or an existing pattern and still use the elements you like, but get that custom fit with the yarn that you want. And I think that's
right, with
important.
the yarn, with my gauge, with the
Yeah.
exact measurements. And so that's I'm really excited about that, and she is too. I think she's going to love it.
Speaking of Andiamo Light, you didn't get to see this last time, Sumner, but it's coming out in a paint.
Ooh, very cool.
So
That's nice.
yeah,
And
it's
it's
the
still,
same.
it's the same knitting in a worsted weight.
Yeah, Andiamo Light in a painted. This is an upcoming yarn. So once I get the access to the color card, I can show you if there's anything that's not too wild for you.
And the Andiamo light is one that we've talked about a lot, because Sumner's done several sweaters in it. This is my first sweater in it, but it's 85% wool and 15% alpaca. So it is soft and squishy and lovely, and it's just really nice to knit with. I love knitting my swatch.
Yeah, and for a heavy knit sweater, it's remarkably comfortable to knit to like wear inside.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a
Well,
nice
it's very lightweight.
woolen.
Oh, and you see him holding it up. It comes in these huge skeins.
Yeah.
It's 200 gram skein.
Yeah, 200 grams of Aran weight. So the yardage is nice as well.
Yeah,
437.
437. Yeah.
So you would laugh at me, Cindy. I was making a top-down sweater in
I
that
would laugh only if you don't make my Argyle sock, but that's okay.
in that in the roving. Now it literally it only took a week to make the body of the sweater.
Oh,
And
cool.
then I fell at yoga and I sprained my wrist. And I've been
Was this the hot sweaty yoga? Was that why
yes,
you fell?
this is the hot sweaty yoga. And I'm like, oh Lord. So I
Oh
probably have
no.
like another week left of the splint, but and then I'm looking at this yarn. Ron, is something wrong with me? It's like a spinach color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what
I
you
needed
like.
another green sweater.
Yeah. Well, see, while you've got the splint, Nancy can help you with the cottage style supported knitting. You get yourself
Absolutely.
a knitting belt.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a knitting belt, but yeah, it's just but you have to work with, at least really long double pointed needles if you're going to do an in the round Phrancko sweater. But last week I came on as my one of my cameo appearances, and but showed how even with working with double pointed needles on sleeves, I will tend to prop it down in my hip, the one fixed needle, and then I just knit much faster that way. So, but Sumner, when that splint comes off, because you have been such a long time knitter, you are going to bounce back. I bet your physical therapist is going to love you. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I don't know if anyone's ever had any hand injury, but one time it was a minor thing, but I blew a tendon out on my finger. And so it was flopping, really funny. And so they said, okay, this is what happened. You need to go up to physical therapy. They'll make a splint. So I'm up there, and while they're starting to measure, they're talking with me, and I'm going, I'm really concerned. Is this going to be, I'm a weaver and a knitter and a spinner. Is this going to really affect me? And they went, what? You're a weaver? what kind of loom do you have? And I'm
Oh,
like,
isn't that
my
great?
finger. They said, oh, we'll get to your finger. Tell us about what you think. And then, yeah, and then they said, oh, you'll bounce back just fine. She says, because that's what we always want people to do is stuff with their hands. So you just make sure you tell your physical therapist you're a knitter, and they'll go, 1 week and you'll be back
no,
up.
I did, and they're like, no, they said that you'll probably recover a little faster because you
Yeah.
use your hands. So
We've
I'm
got
like,
another
okay.
guest.
Hi, Karen. Hi, how are you?
Hey, hi everybody.
Hi, Franco's
Oh.
not feeling very well today, but he'll
Oh, I'm
be
so
back
sorry.
soon.
Hope it's nothing serious.
He's lurking,
Yeah.
however, and I wouldn't put it past him to drop something in the chat if we start getting out of line.
Yeah.
No, he said we could do whatever we want.
So Cindy, the sweater that I was making needs buttons.
Oh, very fun.
So it's Aran weight, and it's the
Yeah.
Henley, and I
Mhm.
got these beautiful mother of pearl buttons in green.
Oh, that's so nice.
So I am very excited to put buttons on, because I haven't put buttons on a Phrancko yet. So
Mhm.
How do you
Well,
attach, how do you
first-
attach your buttons?
what do you mean?
I mean, do you use the yarn? Do you back it with
Oh.
I mean, how do you attach your buttons?
This is an unspun yarn, so it's like pencil roving. So I'll be using I'll get linen thread for the buttons.
And what weight is it? Cindy?
Aran.
Aran,
It's
yeah,
Aran
okay.
weight.
For the heavier, like worsted and Aran, I haven't used the same weight yarn. I have different times used like a fingering yarn in the same weight or something. And or even like a lace weight or even a lace weight double that I'll use in the same thing. So it's a similar material and fiber. If you use some of the other fibers like a cotton or even like a linen, sometimes it can cut the
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and so
I might get
unspun.
some sock yarn then, because this is pencil roving.
It's delicate.
It's a little delicate, yeah, but when it's knit, it's just really strong.
oh yeah,
Shocked.
that's totally fine, because then you've actually put a tiny twist in when you're done it, and when you're knitting it, but you're only stretching it like one stitch width, and it's plenty strong at that length. It's only
I
when
was
you would
gonna
get it farther
reinforce the
apart.
buttonhole anyway.
Frank said he wrote an article about how to attach buttonholes, and he
Oh,
did. It's a
sweet.
TKGA article. I
I'll just
remember
put
reading
buttons
that,
on your
and that's
knitted
really
fabric.
good.
Oh, I'll actually read that. That's
And that's
wonderful. Thank you.
that's a very, very good one, because I think he actually does a little bit of a thread shank, of where he leaves a little tiny space and then wraps around a couple, but I might be wrong. Read the article. That's the best
When
way.
I put buttons on a sweater, I always do the thread shank so that it makes it easier to use the buttons.
I usually work in thick, like higher wrist fabric.
I wrap
Right.
like 7 times, and then I go right through it again so that the button stands up a little bit.
Nice.
And it comes in and out.
Frank said yes, and he also showed a backing. Showed using a backing button, and that actually really helps a lot. That then the weight of the button and the force of it when you're buttoning it and putting it on and off, or even when it's wearing and doing, is distributed against a larger space when you use a backing button. So it's not like just pulling on that one little point, it's pulling on the whole space. And they're making my button really huge. Normally it's more kind of like the size of a button that's a little bit smaller than the buttons you're putting on, or even as small as like a men's shirt button. So it's not a huge backing, but it's on the inside of the fabric. So you've got
a little sandwich of your fabric.
You do.
Oh, that's
you have
a good
your
idea.
backing button,
I'll do that.
your fabric, and then your top button.
Yeah.
And then you're putting on the floor. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, keep going. I just was going to go back to the pencil roving. I had a thought.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I just wondered if you had a friend who was a hand spinner, because pencil roving is a basic I mean, I spin, and pencil roving is something that can be spun. So if you've got enough of that left over and you have a friend who does hand spinning, you could actually give them some of that and say, hey, could you make a 2-ply yarn out of it? And that would give you the yarn that you need to.
Yeah, because I was thinking it would spin at a sock weight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can spin it as fine as you want or need to spin it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
From the roving, it's just how long you draw it out. Because I'm a
Yep.
spinner too.
Oh,
Oh,
yay.
yeah.
Tim had to
Yeah.
put my wheel away today so I could teach class in the classroom.
Teach class where?
In the classroom here at the
Oh,
shop.
oh,
I had been spinning in there.
I see.
All my
Ron?
stuff is all over.
I have a question about, have you knit anything with Alba, which is a Jody Long yarn?
Uh-oh, Rana.
Oh,
Here comes the
showtime.
sample. Here
There
comes
it
the
comes.
sample.
Careful what you ask for, Rana. You know better.
You're right. I'm glad you didn't break your wrist some night.
Oh, hurts like a Dickens, let me tell you.
Mhm.
And I type for a living. So
Well,
that's been kind of slow, but only on the left side.
yeah, could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Aha! That was out of Alba, huh?
And a hat.
Oh my.
It's beautiful.
Look at the drape on that.
Yeah. So this is a single strand of it. This is knit 2 strands together. So you can see in the marling, this is the top I was talking about last week.
I didn't realize that
Yes, that you were going to write the pattern down for me about
Yes.
how to do that
I have
collar.
got notes. I'm going to remake it as a child's so I can work it in small. But this is a hat made out of Alba. This is knit up on like an 8 for that, like lacy, drapey. You can see it's semi-sheer.
Yeah. Wow.
The drape and the
gorgeous.
hang is just lovely on
And
it.
this was 2 balls.
Oh,
really.
wow.
Yeah.
Cause
The yardage of Alba goes on and on and on.
So
yeah, it asks for a 5 needle.
so qu'est-ce que c'est hap?
Huh?
What is a hap?
Oh, like a Scottish style shawl. The center
okay.
is a corner to corner garter stitch square,
Oh,
you see? And then the
HHP,
border
right?
is
HHP.
picked up and then knitted on in the round.
Mm,
isn't that beautiful?
So then you
And that's garter stitch and it's see-through?
in it, yeah. Can you see?
Wow. That drape is phenomenal.
So these are 2 very different uses of Alba. One knit up
yeah,
very drapey, and one doubled into an Aran weight to make this top.
interesting.
Very nice.
So
Well, there you
it'll-
go.
For the double up.
Hmm?
For your double up your sweater, what size needle do you use for that?
An 8, maybe a 9.
Wow. Okay. Same size needle you use for both, maybe then.
Yeah, entirely possible. But see, this not so sheer. And
So
they are coming out with an Aran weight, like out of the box, an Aran weight Alba.
Mm,
So if I look up HAP, HAP,
Mhm.
on, okay,
A hat
so that's wonderful.
or a hat, yeah. Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun to make. This one doesn't have the applied border because I had to move on with my,
Okay,
but
so you do the
they
garter
do,
stitch
yeah.
first and then you knit in the rounds to finish?
Yeah, you make the garter stitch square, point to point, increases, decreases, and then pick up all the way around it, and then knit center out.
Oh,
So
so the
Okay.
drape also is because of that wonderful bias that you put in there.
Mhm.
So, yes, I have used Alba for 2
Again.
quite different projects.
yeah. Good.
And
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Cindy? Thank you.
What's the content of that wool? Is it wool or linen?
It is wool alpaca viscose, I think.
Uh-huh.
25%. 50%
Very nice.
wool, 25% alpaca, and 25 viscose.
Okay.
That's great. Yeah, what a beautiful, that's just nice. Never heard of the word before.
I love a knit that's drapey and you can just wave it like a flag.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Sumner. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, how are you, Rana?
Fine, thank you.
Now,
never get-
Kathy,
Huh?
I would love when you settle in, I would love a good kind of lace charting software recommendation, if you
A what?
have one.
A
A
what
lace,
kind of charting software?
lace charting software.
You can do some lace with NitWiz. Probably the other one is Stitch Master,
Okay,
which is a downloadable. Stitch Master, Stitch Mastery.
okay.
Master.
I'll look at that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stitch Maps,
Kathy,
Frank mentioned. Stitch Maps is
Oh,
a
that's
very
good.
cool charting software that
Yeah.
makes knitting charts that are more akin to crochet charts than traditional knitting charts. So they're not a grid. They actually show the direction that the fabric moves in the manner of a crochet chart. So
Yeah, it's
Stitch,
very cool.
very cool.
Okay. Yeah, I have to get better with charting myself because like when I started doing Irish sweaters 30 years ago, you literally just knit line by line by line by line. And that's how I've always done it.
He
So
mentions
I'm
the
not
credit
good
of
with
J.C.
charting.
Breyer, by the way. He credits the Stitch Maps to J.C. Breyer for us to mention.
Oh,
it
okay.
has that little book, right? The how to read charts, like something about that charting.
Yeah, she
It's
has
a
a book.
small book, but it's really a cool book. Kathy, I want to show. I already showed, and you were not here. Da, 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 da. All the
Yay!
front and back
Very
are all done.
cute.
I just have
Very
to sew the
cute.
sleeves together, sew the shoulders together, and then do my ribbing.
Wait, hold it up again.
Oh, sorry, Karen, you weren't here either. I
Let's
did it right at
spotlight.
the very beginning. Here it is. This is the
Oh, yeah.
Key West tea that I'm doing for the knit along, and I'm doing it in more of a color block than was at first. We can't do anything the same way that it's written, in the pattern, but
Never.
a little bit more. And it's for a 12-year-old granddaughter, so she wanted a little more color. So I did this flamingo color at the bottom, and then for the thing, and she wanted them on both sides, so we did that. And then for the neckline, and then around the shoulders. Yeah, see, I think it looks good on me even. For the neckline and the shoulders, it's going to be the same bright pop of color. So
Yeah.
but I'm so excited I got it off the needles. And
That's
so it's
beautiful.
Like, yay.
That's great. Yeah, it
Thank
looks like
you.
a coral color in there. It's beautiful.
It is. It's a coral. It is
Very
a flamingo.
nice.
It's got a little pink and the orange to it. Mhm.
It's
You
giving
have
big
better lighting than me.
1992 vibes.
My lighting makes everything look orange or yellow. Yours is
Oh, I
actually
have a gooseneck one that has all sorts of, you can change it if you want it to be like computer light or reading light or a night light or early morning light, and it changes the colors, and then you can adjust the brightness also. So I just play with it until I get more of a real color that I want it to be when I'm knitting.
Brightness and color temperature.
Yes, temperature, that was the thing I was looking for.
Of course, where you live, the color temperature is in the like 65 kelvins because it's always overcast, right?
It is. It's raining again today. We're going to have like a high of 60 if we're really good. At noon, it was like 51.
Same
And
here.
it's supposed to rain for the next 5 days. So you can think it's June according to the calendar, but it might not be.
I resemble that remark. It is 57 degrees here and rainy.
Oh God, yeah, it's rainy here, so yeah. But the trees are happy. The grass is pretty happy. The tomatoes are not happy. Um,
Mhm.
the
It's
lettuce is doing really well, as is the
Yeah.
spinach and Swiss chard and those green leafy vegetables.
It's 80 degrees in Southern California.
Oh my gosh, Rana.
It's nice.
Boo. Boo
Today
to
we
all
have
of
sun
you.
too.
It is 97 degrees here.
Oh
Ooh.
no. Oh,
So normal
Ron, I'm
June.
sorry.
It says it's
Ron,
June on
I'm
the
sorry.
calendar,
You're
and that's
just
how it
you're
feels.
melting.
But I'm wearing
Yes.
my nice cozy.
That is, wearing your cozy sweater.
I've got AC blasting me.
Mhm.
We've got split units in every room just to
That's good.
get me. Yeah, 97. Typical summer weather. Typical early summer weather.
Wow.
It'll be about
It's 78. It's 78 here in Southern Oregon. The perfect weather.
Yes.
It's cloudy too. I like it when it's cloudy.
that's what my dad would keep it in his house if we didn't all complain. Are you growing orchids in here? We're dying. Turn on the AC.
Oh boy.
Some mornings he forgets to put his blood in. My mother and I will just be sweltering. And they'll grumble.
Well, at least he's a good candidate for your hand knit sweaters. If he's always called
Yeah,
like that,
no,
just give him sweaters.
I've given him nice woolly woolen sweaters that he can wear and stay properly warm out on the Central Coast, because they've been chilly as well. They've had a cool summer. We've actually had a cool summer up until now. Now it's normal, but we had some cooler days.
97
Some
doesn't
years,
sound cool or normal.
yeah, no.
It's
Some
normal.
years, some
For
years we do
Bakersfield,
get
it is.
we
Yeah.
do get summer. So some years we get like the 4th of July and that's it. So
That thing where you can cook an egg on the sidewalk, we can do that while it's still in the chicken.
Oh gosh. Okay, true confessions here. Did anyone else ever try to do that as a child? I did.
Yeah.
I truly did.
Yeah.
We
does it work
lived
here?
in a little town in between Dallas and Fort Worth, and I had heard that, and so I did take an egg out of the refrigerator, crack it on the sidewalk, and sat there and watched it, expecting it to cook.
Oh, no, ours cook.
Well, it kind of got colored, but it
Yeah.
didn't really cook.
Well, ours cook on asphalt, maybe not on pavement, but
Yeah, that's
Well, now the asphalt there would like get all oozy and it would like bubble,
yeah.
because
Mhm.
we would go around and pop the bubbles in the asphalt. And we always thought that was fun.
I
oh
remember
wow, nice. Yeah.
in
Mhm.
science classes when I was in elementary school, we did a comparison of going outside. I don't know if you can put eggs on things in schools anymore. But we were making solar box cookers, which you do not need here. Just get in your car. But we made a solar box cooker, and we cooked an egg in there, and then we put eggs on the black asphalt and the white pavement to learn about different methods of heat transference. And in this case,
But that would be, I love science like that. That would have been great.
so. Oh, now I remember my solar box cooker. What have
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
So what is everyone working on? Is it time for show and tell? Sumner, can we do show and tell?
Oh yeah, let's do show
You can
and
show
tell.
your splint again.
That's what I'm showing. Well, I mean, I'm almost done my entrelac, but I can't really knit it. So it's really fun. Like I love
Wow.
entrelac.
Pretty.
Um,
Pretty.
Yeah, but
That is
then
gorgeous.
What is the object? What is it?
it's just going to be a scarf for my sister, you know, because you need to know how to do it. I'd never done it.
Sure.
Just really fun.
You
Cool.
picked a nice yarn to do it. Lots
Yeah,
of
those
low
colors.
model change of color.
Yeah, that's Noro. I wish the lighting in here was better. You could actually see the colors. They're more pinky than it shows. They look very orange in this light, but they're really just very pinky. But it's
Not
a nice woolly yarn, you know.
Which Noro is it?
Um, you know, I don't have the band anywhere close.
Is it one of the newfangled big balls?
One of the big
Yeah.
balls of wool, you know, not the silk, but it's like a
Would
big
be
ball of
Ito?
wool. Maybe. I don't know. Didn't matter. It was really pretty, and my sister liked the color, so that's all. What are
What
we all
happened to
working
your
on?
wrist?
I fell at yoga and I sprained my wrist.
Ooh.
He
Yeah.
went to hot
So
yoga, but he accidentally showed up at slippery yoga.
yep. And it can, yeah, well, and it's carpet in there too. But at 56, my balance is not what it used to be.
Yeah. Just you wait, Sumner. Just you wait.
I don't think I have to wait at all. I'm right there.
I was late because I got scammed,
What?
Oh,
Oh no.
almost scammed. The saving grace, yeah, because I'd just been talking to the CEO of our company, and we normally never talk anymore because the company's too big now. So then when he asked me for my cell phone, I thought it was because he wanted to keep in touch because I'm retiring. And so I gave it to him. He texted. And then today I get a thing where he wanted me to buy some Apple gift cards.
oh
I
no.
had never heard of this one before.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. So you weren't texting with your boss
No,
in the
No.
first place?
No.
Oh no.
no.
He was
But
just pretending
I
to be your
bought the
boss.
gift cards, $600. Fortunately, it was one Apple gift cards and $600 worth of gift cards I bought. But then I didn't get to taking a picture of the backs to send him because a lady from the store came up to me and said, "Do you know this is your boss you're talking to? We've had a lot of scams where people they're asked to buy Google Play cards and stuff." And
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. And I'm usually
Yes,
pretty
they
savvy.
are.
It was just a
Yeah.
coincidence thing for me.
Yeah, I get you.
But
Mm.
I bought the cards. I can't refund them, but it's an Apple, and I am buying a new computer in a couple weeks, and so I will use these gift cards for my computer.
Good for you.
I didn't.
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
glad.
send them the
I'm
pictures.
glad the lady at the store said something.
Same here.
Yeah.
I actually, when I
Yeah.
realized what I was doing, I went up to her and I told her that she saved my bacon.
Yeah.
Oh,
My husband works at a pharmacy. He manages a Rite Aid. So
ah,
it's his name on the door. It's his store.
yeah.
Mhm.
And he tells me the stories, and it's exactly that. It's Google Play cards, it's Apple gift cards, and people are going to get 1,000 of them, you know,
Yeah.
$1,000 worth, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
where would the money go if it
the money
if it
goes
went-
to because if you get a picture of the back, the money just goes to the person who's using it, because you can use it online
To the
because you have
scam person.
you have the scammed
Yeah.
person,
So-
and you can't really trace them.
So how did you avoid that?
Because she came up to me. I was just about to take a picture of the back, and she came up
Oh.
to me and
Bye,
said,
Rana.
Bye, Rana.
you know,
I
are you
see.
sure it's your boss you're talking to? And then I thought,
Mhm.
maybe it's not. Maybe
Uh-huh.
he got
Right.
my number and he knows I'm working for this company or something. And
Right.
Mhm.
so, and it was a Rhode Island area code. That's the other thing.
Right.
Mm.
So
Wow.
They're very
I
clever.
didn't question it yesterday.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Very,
and then
very clever.
I said, and then I tried calling and I couldn't reach him. And I thought, no, this isn't Nick. And this guy's not even talking like Nick talks.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's awful.
Wow,
One
that's crazy.
really
People do.
funny one like this that happened just recently was somebody was scamming and sending out emails and posting things saying that they were our pastor at church. And it gives this whole sad story about I'm visiting people in the hospital, you know, that has cancer. So, you know, so don't call me. And, you know, kind of giving this whole thing about, you know, you can't, don't bother me. But I hate to ask, but would you please do this? And so one of the guys that got on replying back and forth with them is just hysterical. And so he like right away, he works in IT and he right away knew it was a scam. But he just plays along with this guy and he's like, "Oh yeah, what do you need these for? Jim, you know, why do you need these? You know, I can help you with this." And so the guy gives, you know, says, "Oh, I want to give them to the nurses and blah blah blah." And so and every time that my friend writes back, he puts a little scripture note for when it is. And obviously, the person did not know their scripture or look it up in the Bible because the things that he was doing had to do with, you know, like about, you know, the hatred that God has for a liar or something, you know, that if you deceive people that, I mean, and it was like, oh, and it went on and on. And I'm just like cracking up because he's sending them out to everybody saying, it's like, beware of this. This is what's going on. And then he's like, you know, well, he's like, well, I'm free today. I could just come to the hospital and bring them to you. You know, would you like me to get you some lunch or something too? How many nurses is it? I
Oh
can
yeah,
bring
no.
sandwiches, you know. And it's like, no, no, no. And so it was just hysterical. And then it was
Oh,
like, then
that's
finally
funny.
the guy's like, you know, are you joshing me? Or you? It's like, oh no, no, Jim, you know, I really want to be helped. You know, I am a servant. And then of course, but then all the scriptures and obviously the guy never looked up any of the scriptures and finally he quit. But I was
Oh,
just
that's funny.
rolling. I was just rolling.
Yeah, you got to be really cautious. And I
You
work in
really, really
IT,
do.
so I have to help people all the time and try to walk them through how to unwrap it, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's yeah, people need to do more with their time than try to steal people's money, right?
Yeah. But
More
unfortunately
lucrative,
they
they
do.
wouldn't do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is the
Yeah, it's
unfortunate thing.
unfortunately.
If
Yeah,
there
and it
weren't money
works.
to be made in it, they would be doing something else.
A ton of money. I get the scam all the time. Your package is undeliverable.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I don't have a package on the way. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
come
the
on.
terrible thing. Like, for everyone who sees through it, there are people who
There,
don't.
there are
Otherwise,
dozens who
they
don't.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
doing it. They'd be doing something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
Infuriating.
But
Well,
thanks for,
today
oh
I
my
was
God,
one of the
Kathy,
ones
for
that didn't.
sharing that. Thank you for like
Ugh.
really. People got to talk about it because smart people,
Yeah.
smart people, smarter
Right.
than me, fall for this stuff because it's just so convincing.
When it's plausible, it's plausible.
It is.
When it's plausible, what do? You're just doing the
Right.
right thing. You're just being a good person, being
Well,
taken advantage of. It has nothing to do with your intelligence.
if it's even the least bit out of character for the person, stop and contact them through a way that you know to be safe, either through your
Yeah.
work or
Yeah.
through their
Yep.
phone, and just check. You know, you got
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry
Absolutely.
got a scam letter this week, and I'm kind of disappointed that he didn't take up on it. It was from a guy at a bank in England. And Jerry did look it up, and this was the real bank, and it said he was the president of the bank, and that guy on the bank's website really was the president. But then the email that he gave was very weird, which was not the bank not the email that the bank's website actually gave, but it was like that Jerry would get 27 that some long lost relative had died, and there was 27 million something pounds. I mean, it was like a humongous amount of money. And that you would get 80% and they would get 20%, but of course you have to send them money and blah blah. And anyway, and it's kind of like, and Jerry just rolled on the floor laughing, said, it really is funny, except for they said that this guy just died, and it was supposedly his great grandfather or something, or great three greats or something grandfather. And he's like, no, Joseph died in 1934. This was
yeah. There you go. Right.
This is not the right one. And
Yeah.
it also said he was of Asian descent, and I don't mean any
Yeah.
criticism at all, but Jerry's
Yeah. No.
great grandfather was not of Asian descent, so it's kind of like, okay, no. And so then he sent it on actually to the bank to say, hey, you guys might want to know that somebody's scamming using your name and all that.
Exactly.
So it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna contact Apple and give them the phone number for what.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those are actually really easily faked, and that number probably doesn't actually go to any real person.
Yeah, spoofed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Occasionally I
but
get
it's still
calls
good
from
to
someone
send
that's
it.
like, I'm returning your
And
call. No, you're
Yeah.
not.
the other thing would be if the guy was pretending to be your boss or pretending to be a person, tell that person, because they could have been the one their
Yeah,
account
they were
somewhere
hacked.
could have been
Yeah.
compromised. They were hacked. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so they got everybody from their email list, and that's how they got you. So
Mhm.
You may want to
Yeah.
check in. I mean, changing your phone number, but if you shared your phone number with this person, they could easily sell that to others, and then you'll never get a moment's rest.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's time to change my phone number.
Which is
Besides,
a
I'm
massive
in
inconvenience.
Illinois, so
I maybe wait on that. Who's your provider for your cell phone?
Verizon.
And did you get it to your Verizon cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a feature on your cell phone when you get a text. If you just click the face on the top,
Mm-hmm.
you delete and report to junk, and that sends the message to Verizon that this is a scam.
Oh, okay.
So if you go just to the regular text and go to the top where the person is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to delete it, and I thought, no, I don't want to delete it yet.
You can also just click info, and you can block the person from that number ever doing it. But you can delete and report as junk, and then that sends a note to Verizon.
That's what I'll do.
That it's junk. So I would not go changing your phone number.
Yeah, and then it will alert other people that it's
Yes.
a spam. or
Spam
whatever.
number.
It absolutely does, because that's how the spam blockers work. Enough
Okay.
people delete and report to junk, and then they're blocked.
Okay. That's what
So,
I'll do.
yeah,
See, this
that's
is
a
all
better
good
way around it.
information.
Summer,
Well, I
you
work for
just saved the
Verizon in the United
bacon, and you
States,
just
so
saved the bacon of everybody that's watching this video after the fact.
yeah,
That's
true.
right.
You have no idea how many people you're helping, really. And thank you for even speaking up. People get ashamed about it, but like, don't get ashamed about it. That's nothing. You're just
Well,
a
I did
smart
feel
person.
foolish, but you
Well,
know,
I wouldn't feel too foolish.
it was
they're just-
coincidental.
They're just clever.
They are. They're very. And the lady at the store told me about another lady who had just gotten scammed for Google Play cards. And she bought the cards, and so she was out her money, and she did all the pictures. And then she saw her boss like 2 hours later on the street and said, "Oh, hey, I got those cards for you." And he's like, "What?
What cards? Right.
What cards?"
Yeah. No, my husband's had to get the police involved on some because there was a gentleman who just insisted that it was valid. And he's being told, no, this is not valid. You're being scammed. And so my husband had to call the police to then come meet with this gentleman and explain to him. But he was insisting on doing it. Like, don't go through with it, you know?
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's a rough thing, but you help more people than you know.
6.
Yeah,
And the
That's
guy made
funny.
me late for my meeting too.
yeah,
Oh,
I know, right? Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, yeah. Well, better to be late and safe, right?
Yeah.
does anyone
Well,
else
I'm
have?
not doing any hot yoga soon, that's for sure.
Oh, please, I'm putting that on the back burner for a little bit. I keep getting hurt in hot yoga. What the heck?
See, I knew people saying that exercise was good for you were suspicious. Something about it didn't add up.
Yeah,
It's a scam, huh?
Just
I'd rather
scam.
be fat and happy.
I'd rather be fat and in my house. I don't care about my mood. Going outside and gonna make it better. That's scary.
That's funny.
Sassy.
So, does anyone else have a show and tell?
Good progress.
Oh, I finished the mosaic. I guess you saw it when I was just starting the mosaic. I can't remember.
Show
And
us.
I've got my Phrancko design too, but I don't have my swatch done. I'll do that tonight.
Oh,
I'll show
isn't
you
that
next week.
beautiful?
Turned out really pretty. The color combination I love. So that's all for me.
That's beautiful. It's like a
Very-
Celtic rose. It's beautiful.
Pam.
Well, I ventured into the world of beading,
Oh,
Let's see if I
cool.
can-
Oh, look at that.
and this is can you see the beads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
This is a Romy Hill design. And I want to get it finished because I have Kathy's Brush Creek tea to finish. I'm working on Kathy's, I'm doing Kathy's cow. So I have
Oh yeah,
this.
I love that song.
that looks good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, very nice.
I think it's gonna fit fine. So, yeah.
I made some decent progress on my sweater.
Oh, yay,
Oh, look
Tim.
at
Yes,
that.
you
That looks
have.
good.
Colors. Here, you wanna?
Very good.
Sweet. So he's got a variegated yarn.
And
it's
that lovely
alternating
sleeve
between
cap.
stockinette and reverse
Ooh.
stockinette. In different,
Very
as
nice.
different colors pop up. So it has like a random welted texture. There's the beautiful
What are you
sleeve.
gonna do with the sleeves when you're putting the sleeves on at the end?
I'm gonna save some yarn from each ball because all of the different balls that I have were hand dyed by myself, and they're all slightly different.
So early in the process, he took them all, wound them, and then numbered them. Based
Oh my gosh, look
on-
at that.
Wow.
So
Oh,
some of
that's
them have
cool.
very pale black, some of them have very dark black.
Oh yeah.
And so like this is the
Wow.
third skein to be used, and this is the
Super
ninth
cool.
skein.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Oh, wow.
How cool.
Clever.
So he's planned it all out so it'll have an ombre effect just by sorting the hand dyes.
Very
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah, see what Frank
That's gonna
started,
look
huh?
good. Huh?
See what Frank started?
And then this is I'm doing a little cricket jumper style. So I'm getting to the side so I can hold it up nicely. I showed it off last week when it was sleeves, but the body is almost done. I'm cranky because I got ill yesterday and it's the day of knitting. I wanted the body to be done
Oh,
today.
that's so nice.
That's cute.
Oh, that's really,
That was
really nice.
lovely.
So
Turn it different directions so the light can hit it. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
mulberry color.
Oh yeah,
That's
nice.
a Phrancko
Love
V.
the color.
It's a V-neck made yet V-ear by taking an inch and 3/4 off the sleeve shoulder cap, off the shoulder cap.
Okay. Yeah.
So it made the V-neck wider, and that'll all be taken up by a very thick band. And then
Yeah,
that cast
that's
on
nice.
for structure is all a crocheted cast on, so it'll still hold the weight of the sweater up.
Mhm.
And just to be clear, like this is what a sweater for a man with a 42-inch chest looks like next to me.
Mhm.
In case you thought I was cheating by making sweaters an Aran weight for myself.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
One of
Very
my
nice.
students in my Phrancko class was knitting a sweater for herself in sport weight yarn, and her full bust stitch count was the same as one for myself with an Aran weight.
Wow.
So our stitch counts were identical in her sport weight sweater and my Aran sweater. So I'm not that's why I don't make anything for myself in anything under a worsted weight. I would be buried in it half finished. But
That's fun.
it'll have contrast stripes at the right above the hemline, right above the cuffs, and at the
On the neck.
V-neck. It'll have
Yeah.
2 white stripes and then a contrast color I have not quite decided on yet. Either a moss green or a gold, and I'll see what I'm feeling at the time.
That color is
I vote for
stunning.
moss green.
Yeah.
I'll just
You know
put
how
it
I
out
feel
there.
about green.
See, I tied it
Oh
off
yeah, Sumner is
with
green
with
too.
a gold.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And the gold is pretty. I
Yeah.
just like green.
Me too. And
Well-
this mulberry color is a magenta. So it's
Mhm.
complementary
Oh,
color
yeah,
with
you can
green.
It
see
really
that.
is, yeah.
So that's what I've got.
There's almost Tweety flecks in it. It's really
It
pretty.
is. This is Lucky Tweed by Kelborn Woolens. Let's see if I can get some light on it.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Oh, yes.
beautiful.
That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool, yeah.
Wow.
That looks
All
more.
the Kelburn yarns are really lovely too.
Yeah,
I mean, they
Love
really
it.
are very nice to
Oh,
work with.
very nice.
it's a merino spun in Donegal,
Mhm.
one of their
Oh,
mills
nice.
there. So it's a nice woolen 2-ply traditional sort of
Oh, yeah, I see.
things you pick up when you're touring, but in a merino. And they
So it's
block out
softer.
the way it blooms
Mhm.
and gets that woolen spun halo when it's
Yeah, I love that.
blocked.
Is that a DK weight on that, or
It's
is it-
Aran.
It's Aran
Um,
weight.
There
Nice.
is a fingering weight version of it that is literally 1 ply of the 2-ply yarn.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
So it's same weight, double the yardage. This is a 2-ply yarn. It's a singles. You add it all up and that's what you get. So
Yeah.
I've got one of my students from my Phrancko class is using the fingering weight version to make an all over stranded knit, steeked. It's slow going. Well, she's an ICU nurse, so she works on it when she can. So
Yeah.
it creeps along, but I'm hoping the next time I see her that she'll have it and I can get some pics to share with everyone because it's really, really cool.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Very nice.
Lucky Tweed by Kelborn Woolens. And the colors it comes in are just fantastic. And this mulberry I love.
Yeah, I like that. That's very pretty. I love the mulberry. Very nice.
Ziggy, what are you working on?
Nap. Can you even see him from
No,
there?
he's hit.
Yeah.
Okay, Ziggy's asleep.
He's working on a big nap.
He's a very prolific napper. I think he gets it from me. Dogs and their owners come to resemble one another. And so bald and asleep. That's us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still working on my cardigan. I've gone back to my singles. I got the sleeves both done.
Yay.
And then when I put it on, I thought the body is too short. So so I took the bottom off of it. So here's the sleeve.
Beautiful.
Very
It's
nice.
singles. It's like a number size 3 needle. So it's like I had to take a break and do that Nora when I showed last week. But so this will eventually I wanted to try a new technique with this that I picked up. We had Roxanne Richardson did a video a call in to my knitting guild a couple months ago, and she talked about a traditional technique that's used, and I thought, well, it's used for stranded work, but I'm going to try it first on this. And it's when you get down to the bottom of the hem, you actually add like your ribbed section here and then knit it, and then you knit the rib up and pick it up, but at the same time you're you're adding the rib plus an inch facing on the other side, so that way you're actually capturing it. So I thought, well, I'm going to practice it on this and see how I like it. See, and this is a singles yarn, so it's not going to add a lot of bulk, but it will add some stability to the front of the cardigan. And just see how I like it as a potential technique for when I do a stranded color work and I'm steeking it. I've done a couple different ways of steeking and finishing, but this would be a new one where it's then, you know, captured and sewn in, but then the facing comes on the other side to hide the wrong side just a little bit. So I'm kind of doing a twofer on this and going to try a new technique on the bottom of this.
So you'll get a sweater and a swatch out of it, which is pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Roxanne Richardson is one of my favorite knitters out there. She's just wonderful.
Wow, we're all right here, Sumner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't met her or heard from her before, but I really like it. So, and she showed us, she did a show on sweaters through the ages. And so she had pictures of all these sweaters that she had done from like 1891 every year or every 10 years, and talked about the style changes and stuff, and then what she did. And it was just fascinating, but I got a lot of great notes for some new techniques to try. So it's kind of fun.
When is Frank visiting your guild?
He actually, oh, I'm glad you said something. He actually did it
You did already.
we just had it on Tuesday.
How did it go?
It was fabulous.
Did they receive him well? Did everyone like him?
Oh yeah. Oh, they were, you know, I mean, where I was sitting there in the room, and he was on the big screen behind, of course, and we have a hybrid meeting, but I introduced him and talked about him being, you know, former Google, and they were like, ooh, you know, like this is somebody who knows their stuff. And he was so articulate, and good thing you're not on, because you'd be blushing, I know, Frank, but
You might be blushing
he
on
was
it.
he was so articulate. He gave us history of how he thought about the pattern by showing line drawings of traditional creation, and then ways that he thought of changing it, and people were just eating it up. I mean, I'm hoping that we've gotten some converts out of it, but I mean, but you know, people were really, really interested. And of course, you know, him being a master knitter and everything, one of the women were asking questions about what size do you use, you know, if you're going to be doing cable work or errand stuff. And he was spot on with the answers. I mean, I could tell just the level of respect oozing out of the knitters that were in the room for the presentation, for what he did. It was just fabulous. So
great.
Yeah. And then he walked briefly through the website, so that to say a little, not a big deal, not going through the entire sign up process, but, you know, introducing the website, brought that up and showed some of the basics. And then I had some of my sweaters out, so people that were present had the added perk of being able to take a look at the construction. And I brought a copy of the pattern that I'm working on for this, so that they could actually physically see what a pattern would look like. And there were a couple people afterwards that actually came up, wanted to get kind of the lay of the land. So it was really good. And
that's great.
Yeah, he did just such a great job. So for anybody that's now tuning in on this video, and you're wondering about this, you know, keep joining and tuning in. Frank is so generous with his time, his ability. and making a place like this available for anybody to come in to ask. And as you can see, we're not only talking about our Phrancko sweaters, but all kinds of other stuff. But it's a really great space to be. And it's just an outshoot of who Frank is. He's just so generous with his time. So thanks for asking about his time with our guild. It was really great.
Frank in the chat says he loved doing it. So he is. I
Yeah.
think that's about time for us today. So that's a good
It
way
is.
to end with that glowing endorsement, I think.
Yes. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Frank. So we're
Feel
gonna
better.
stop recording, and Frank, yes, feel better.
Yes.
And we'll see you all.
Well, that's too long to be sick. So we're thinking of him as well.
Yeah. And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
Keep
Bye,
knitting.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.